Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us midweek. I'm Jeanelle Slade.
And I'm Jay Cohn for Russ Riesinger tonight. A suspect taken into custody in Billings today following a 4-hour standoff with police.
That standoff in South Billings came to an end after the SWAT team deployed tear gas and pulled the suspect from the home.
Tonight, that man is being held on a $250,000 bond.
36-year-old Darren Whiteman is in the Yellowstone County Jail facing a felony robbery charge. The standoff started around 12:30 today. Now, as you can see, a large police presence gathered at a trailer park on Maloney Lane near its intersection with Story Road.
Billings police, firefighters, and AMR ambulance personnel on the scene there for several hours. Billings Police Captain Neil Lawrence says Whiteman was the only one inside.
Well, hundreds of families with homes below the Billings Rim Rocks are becoming increasingly aware that they live in the path of potential destruction.
2.5 months ago, you'll recall, a huge boulder knocked one home 10 feet off its foundation. And again, this past Sunday, more chunks of sandstone crashing down dangerously close to another house.
Q2's Mitch Laggy shows us just how close.
All was quiet at the King residence on the Billings West End Sunday evening. Husband Richard was traveling home from a Christmas party. His wife at home in her chair, praying that Richard would get home safe. But that would all change after a massive sandstone boulder broke free from the rim rocks and came crashing through their yard.
And I heard this rumble and terrible shaking. I thought it was an earthquake because the house was shaking. And so I thought, oh, no. And then I heard like the bounce and a bounce. And I thought, no, it's a rock fall.
But if you look at this tree here, you can see how high, see, it ripped those branches off the tree, maybe 12 feet high.
Thankfully, the boulder's path took it into a valley on the property, narrowly avoiding the King's home. Sunday's rockfall on Country Club Circle happened at a seemingly coincidental time. The next afternoon, city contracted crews were working to stabilize the area of the rims atop Laredo Place, where a massive rock slide happened in September. The Kings are a little nervous about more rocks eventually coming down, but they say they're not going anywhere.
You know, part of me wants to move, but the other part of me is so attached to this house and this property in spite of all that.
This large crater in the King's backyard is a sobering reminder that no one person can predict when the next large boulder will fall off the rims and if it will damage anybody's home. Reporting in Billings, Mitch Laggy, MTN News.
Mitch.
Well, crews continue today cleaning up the stones and mess still left from the crashing boulder that literally destroyed a West End home in September. Workers are drilling holes in the sandstone, filling those holes with special grout. Now that grout expands within the rocks, breaking the stones into smaller pieces for easier removal.
Crews tell us it takes up to 3 days for that grout to do its work, so crews warning people to stay clear of the area because those boulders could break apart at any time.
Well, the shuttered Shopco building on Billings West End has a new tenant. At Home, a national home decor retail chain, plans to put its first Montana store at 905 24th Street West. That's right next to Costco. The Texas-based retailer filed city building permits last week for a $2.6 million remodel of the building. The 100,000 square foot space has been vacant since this summer when Shopco closed all remaining stores nationwide. At Home has 200 stores across the country and provides a broad assortment of products, including furniture, garden items, and housewares. The company has opened 40 new stores this past year.
A water main break discovered tonight at Colstrip High School will mean a day off for Colstrip students tomorrow.
Colstrip School Superintendent Bob Lewandowski tells Q2 News that the water main break was first discovered around 6:30 this evening, and it affects the school cafeteria, which serves students at the high school, middle school, and Colstrip Elementary.
Lewandowski says school district crews are working right now to repair the line, and officials hope to be able to resume classes as soon as possible, but that won't be tomorrow.
So again, no school in Colstrip tomorrow due to a water main break at the high school.
Former Montana Solicitor General Lawrence Van Dyke confirmed today by the U.S. Senate to become a member of the 9th Circuit Court of Appeals. Today's vote, 51-44 in favor of Van Dyke's confirmation. Montana Senators John Tester and Steve Daines were voting on opposite sides of the issue. Daines voting in favor, while Senator Tester took to the Senate floor to oppose the confirmation. He criticized Van Dyke's lack of experience and poor work ethic. President Donald Trump nominated Van Dyke for this lifelong judgeship this past October. Van Dyke stepped down as Montana Solicitor General earlier this year when he joined the U.S. Justice Department as Deputy Assistant Attorney General. Van Dyke will now join 28 other judges on the U.S. Ninth Circuit. He is expected to maintain his chambers in Las Vegas or Reno, Nevada.
Well, the House Judiciary Committee is finished for the night after holding a debate on the articles of impeachment against President Trump. If the charges of abuse of power and obstruction of Congress are passed, they'll go to the floor of the House for a full vote. Natalie Brand reports from Capitol Hill.
The House Judiciary Committee worked late into the night with Democrats and Republicans clashing over the two articles of impeachment against President Trump.
One indisputable truth has emerged. If we do not respond to President Trump's abuses of power, the abuses will continue.
Two articles like that? Abuse of power and obstruction of Congress in 70-something days. The only abuse of power here is the majority racing the fastest they've ever had, the clock in the calendar determining what impeachment looks like.
The first article of impeachment alleges President Trump openly and corruptly urged Ukraine to publicly announce investigations into his political opponent, former Vice President Joe Biden. The second article of impeachment accuses the president of directing the unprecedented, categorical, and indiscriminate defiance of the House investigation. The Judiciary Committee will continue its work tomorrow, and members will be able to propose various amendments. But with Democrats controlling the committee, passage is all but certain, setting the stage for a full House vote.
It's not just because they don't like the president. They don't like us. They don't like the 63 million people who voted for this president. All of us in flyover country.
If the president had not abused his power, if everything he did was truly perfect, he would have asked, no, he would have demanded that everyone who works for him come forward and tell the truth.
With the Democratic House expected to take a final vote on impeachment next week, Republican Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said a possible trial will be their first order of business at the start of the year. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Changing gears to the weather scene, let's turn to Chief Forecaster Bob McGuire, where another round of winter is on the way. And I'm guessing, Bob, watches and warnings in the mix?
There's a number of waves of moisture moving in, and we're going to see them moving in towards western Montana. Take a look at this in the pink. That is a winter storm warning for the Beartooth Mountains and also Yellowstone National Park. And as you'll notice, that starts at midnight in a few hours here, goes till 5 p.m. Friday. Looking for 12 to 18 inches of snow on the west-facing slopes. Plus, look for that 45-mile-per-hour wind. So, yeah, we're going to see some drifting up there. In southwestern Montana, looking maybe 3 to 6 inches of snow in the valleys, up to 9 inches in some of the ridge tops. Meanwhile, up in the northwestern corner of the state, kind of the same deal, but all of this only for tomorrow morning, 2 a.m. to 11 a.m. Thursday, 3 to 6 inches of snow in the valleys and maybe 7 to 14 inches of snow up in the higher elevations. And plus, now tonight, the only thing really going on is just got a couple of scattered snow showers across the northeastern corner of the state, but look out towards Missoula. That's where your next system is moving in from. We'll have more about that coming up in a few more minutes.
All right, thanks so much, Bob.
School District 2's Billings Career Center teaches high school students skills such as auto repair.
Well, today that skill helped a woman in need and brought some good lessons to the students. Q2's David Jay has more on a special celebration.
On behalf of the Skills USA of the Billings Career Center, we want to present you with a car, a giveaway.
No way.
Yeah, just for you.
Honestly?
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh my God.
Students at the Billings Career Center give a card to Angelica Castillo.
It makes me really grateful, and it changes everything. Having a transportation makes everything easier, you know, go to the store and go take your son to school, go to work, like, you know, it's really helpful. And I'm really appreciative of it.
It's also a special time for the students.
It chokes me up a little, but yeah, it makes me feel good, especially around this time of year. It feels very good. It feels nice to give it to somebody who's deserving.
Oh, it feels good to help out the community. Just like I said, you know, helping out a woman who's worked hard to put herself back on her feet.
It's really fun, I think, because you kind of see the joy in their face, the emotions in their faces. You see, and it's like not like every day you get to do something like this. So once it comes up, it's like, man, it's really, really cool.
For 9 years, auto shop students have worked on cars after school to give away as part of Skills USA.
It's pretty good to be part of this tradition and to be chosen to be the one to present the keys and everything.
All of our Skills members usually give back to the community.
Neat experience to actually like help impact someone's lives for the better.
Teaching kids now about it, it's really helpful, and it really makes you humble, and it opens your eyes to things like there are people struggling. Really thankful. It's a big relief.
In Billings, David Jay, MTN News.
Wow, what a great act of kindness.
Like all the smiles in that room.
Yes.
They were just kind of all over the place.
Awesome.
And by the way, David tells us those cars are donated to the Career Center, and the students chose that 1998 Buick Park Avenue because it's the one that needed the fewest repairs. Makes sense.
Good idea. Still to come on the Q2 10 o'clock news, 135 years in the making and still going strong. Farmers and ranchers from around the state call the Magic City home this week.
That's right. We'll take you to the Montana Stock Growers Association convention. And in sports, we'll head down to Sin City for exciting action from round 7 of the National Finals Rodeo.
You're watching MTN News with Jeanelle Slade and Russ Riesinger. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Breen. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.